I want you to remember one really important thing. Insurance. You never know how good or bad it is until you need it. Guess what? It's too late. But I decided I didn't want to talk about insurance today. I want to make cinnamon rolls. So if you'll bear with me and humor me, I'm gonna whip up a batch of cinnamon rolls here. You know those food channels where they get all of your ingredients proportioned out real nice? Isn't that awesome? Well, I haven't got that, so forgive me. So we got a little bit of flour in here, and excuse me, baby, I put a little milk in. You know, these cinnamon rolls are really something special, okay? When we're done, I'm going to send this cinnamon roll home with each and every one of you. Now, I want you to take this cinnamon roll, put it in the freezer, and do not use it for anything except the most important occasion. Your spouse says, I'm bringing the boss home. Okay, this is going to be the absolute most important thing you can do to really impress somebody. Okay, vitally important. So, what else do we need in cinnamon roll? We got a little salt here. Okay, a little salt. You know, I couldn't find any sugar this morning, but I did get a couple of packets of, what is this, stevia. Anybody know what stevia is? I hope it's a sugar thing. Is it? Okay, let me get some stevia in there. And I got some cinnamon I'm going to put in there.
That's paprika.
Oops, I'm sorry, it's a little bit. It's cinnamon, it looks like cinnamon. All right, now you guys, these are going to be awesome, okay? The cinnamon roll, so your mouth should be watering about now. And, you know, you got to have an egg in there too, right? Okay? Now keep in mind, this cinnamon roll is going to be really important to you. Okay? Because this is really what you want to say when you really want to impress someone, when you need it. Now, I've asked Steve back here to write down names by a show of hands. How many of you want one? All right. Artie and Gary, they want one. Now, why don't you guys want one of these cinnamon rolls? You want what?
You don't know what you're doing.
You don't know what you're doing.
What do you mean I don't know what I'm doing? Is there flour in cinnamon rolls?
I don't want to deprive your
Is
guests.
there sugar or sugar-like substitute?
Yeah.
Is there salt?
Yeah.
Is there cinnamon?
Yeah.
Is there paprika? No, there's no paprika in cinnamon roll. But it looks like cinnamon. They're going to turn out and look nice and beautiful and golden brown, right? They're going to smell great coming out of the oven, aren't they?
Yeah.
I got an egg in it, I got milk, we got flour, I got all this stuff. And when it comes out of the oven, it's going to smell great. What's going to happen when you pull that cinnamon roll out of the freezer and serve it to your spouse's boss or somebody that's real?
He's going to get fired.
He's going to get fired. Why? Because it's going to taste like crap. You're right. You're exactly right. So, folks, here's the thing. Who remembers the line that I started out with? What was the first thing I asked you to remember? Said insurance. Insurance. One of those things that you never know how good or bad it is until you need it, and then it's too late. Insurance policies, I lied, I'm going to talk about insurance. Insurance policies, folks, are no different. Okay? We pick up the phone, we call our agent, we go, hey, I just bought a '69 Volkswagen. How much is it going to cost me for insurance? They would ask a question. They say, oh, bring it down $139. How many of us do that? We do that every day, don't we? They might as well be taking orders at McDonald's. Would you like fries with that Coke? How many of us ever take the time to call our agent and have them sit down with us and explain what those coverages mean? You're gambling with the most important assets in your life. Let's ask Mrs. Dolan. I'm sorry, I don't remember your first name, sorry. Courtney. What happens if somebody comes to you, they've had a serious accident, they're seriously injured, maybe you lost a limb, and that person has 1530 liability insurance? What are you going to do to their home? Maybe I'm asking them that for a question. In the interest of time, let me answer it for you. What she's going to do, what Courtney is going to do, Courtney is going to take their home away from them. Courtney is going to, but Courtney will force them out of their home and sell it at auction unless it's homesteaded, and you can't do a single thing to stop it. You're gambling with the most important assets that you have, and yet 9.5 people out of 10 have no idea what bodily injury is, what property damage is, let alone how much they have. That's what I'm all about. I don't care about writing people's insurance. I'm about solving problems. I'm about reviewing people's policies and helping you make wise, intelligent, informed decisions. You've got to bring in mind, if you know what you're gambling with, you can make that decision. But nobody ever lets you, the customer, understand what those coverages mean so that you can make those choices. That's what I'm about. I know that's what Christy's about. So Christy and I together, either one of us, see somebody. If your agent has not contacted you and talked to you about those coverages and explained it in the last year to 2 years, you need to run. Please, I'm serious. You need to run. You need a good agent. You better see Christy. She walks on water. I know she does. But folks, please, do me a favor, do yourself a favor. If it's not Christy or I, call your agent and tell them it's time for a review. Because there are lots of loopholes. Within 30 seconds of looking at a person's policy, I can tell you what kind of agent you have. If they're looking out for you, or are they trying to be the cheapest premium out there to get their little data commission, it goes in their pocket, off they run, and who can care less about what happens to you guys? That's what happens. It's the reality. See it every day. Every day. So enough pleading and begging. Does anybody have any questions?
I've got a comment and a question. Ask your insurance agent about your credit rating. Your credit rating has a lot to do with it. I changed my company from brand X to brand whatever. He said you've got an excellent credit rating. It makes a big difference. Did AAA tell me that? No.
Credit does play into it greatly. I'll give you a real quick rundown as to why. If a person has poor credit, you're typically going to pay a higher premium. Why? Because if the person is having a hard time meeting their bills and their obligations, when the brakes are bad, the windshield is busted, the tires are bald, guess what? They're not going to be able to afford it. That doesn't mean I agree with it, but that's what the insurance companies will tell you. 2 last questions I want to ask you to think about. How many of you in this room, ladies, have got a nice diamond on your finger? Okay, some of you not yet. You're working on that, right? How many of you think that if that stone falls out of your ring and is gone, you go to put it away, how many of you think it's covered on your insurance? No, it's not. It's called mysterious disappearance. Unless you talk to your agent who sets you up or writes you with the right company to get it taken care of. How many of you use a laptop or some sort of personal property in your business? Okay? If you lose it, I about guarantee I bet $500 that your policy, if it's stolen out of your vehicle, it will pay you a maximum $250. If you're shocked about some of these things, please see Christy or I. We'll certainly take care of it. Any other questions?
I got one real quick one. I have a client whose son had things stolen out of his locker at school. Is that covered by home insurance?
Yes, it's covered. 10% typically, that's generally 10% of your personal property is covered anywhere in the world. Anything else? Thank you.